doing these things repetitively, day after day, really helps set us up to have just a more regulated system, to have more intention and gratitude and expansion in our life, and helps us to become that next version of ourselves as we are on this self-development journey together, taking it one day at a time. Hi friends, welcome back. This week, I have a short and sweet message for you. On this show, we talk about self-development, and sometimes we talk about these big concepts and these big pieces to the puzzle. But then other times, like today, I want to just give you a tiny little practical way to edge yourself towards that next better, more open and expansive and grounded version of yourself. So we're doing something small but very powerful today. And so the topic is never do these 3 things in the morning. Doesn't get more simple than this. And just know that these 3 tiny little habits that we're going to break this week are going to really create a big push and big movement towards the bigger picture that we're working towards, right? Towards really keeping ourselves regulated and really open to this positive change. Okay, so the first thing to never, ever, ever do in the morning is eat refined sugar. Don't do it. It is so easy to get into the habit of having some refined sugar incorporated into your breakfast or incorporated into your coffee in the morning. And there are so many reasons why taking in refined sugar in the morning can do so much to really get our insulin messed up, right? We're going to have a spike in our insulin. It's going to mess up our blood sugar, and it's going to set us up for poor eating choices for the rest of the day. But this is something that, I find that especially our morning routine, like what we drink, right? Whatever your drink of choice is in the morning is probably the same every single day. And so when we get into the habit of getting that drink from Starbucks or using that, sweetened creamer in our coffee, if you're making your coffee at home, and not really thinking about or noticing the fact that there's this refined sugar in there. And this refined sugar, it's like we're putting some poison into our body first thing in the morning, and we're expecting our brain to be alert, we're expecting our energy to be there, but we're really putting this poison into us and putting our body in a position to have to kind of fight through it. So other breakfast foods, there's all kinds of pastries in the morning, right? We have donuts, there's muffins, there's all kinds of options that all are laced with refined sugar. And so instead of, just allowing some of the sugar to slip into our morning routine and then realize that we're going to repeat this morning routine day after day, and now we're really having to fight against and fight through this refined sugar on a daily basis, let's change up our eating habits first thing in the morning. And so really focusing on protein and hydration. So getting that water in first thing in the morning. I know we've talked about this, about right when you wake up, drinking 16 ounces of water to really just sort of be this inner cleanse, right? Just getting this hydration first thing. And then when it comes to the food that we're taking in the morning, focusing on protein, getting this meal in that's not going to spike our blood sugar, that's not going to set us up for an energy crash in the next couple of hours, but it's really going to fuel our body, allow us to have clear thinking, And then to make this a habit so that then the next morning we're having hydration and protein, right? And we rinse and repeat these morning habits. And so just being vigilant when another sugary option starts to kind of infiltrate your habits. And this can happen, right? Like you can be doing really good with it, and then all of a sudden you try a new drink, and then you get it the next day, and you get it the next day, right? It just becomes a habit. So auditing your morning intake and making sure that you're not taking in any refined sugar. Hi friends, I want to take a moment to tell you about our question and comment line. So if you have any questions or you want to discuss anything related to the topics we cover on the show, such as personal development, health, sobriety, life goals, therapy, feel free to leave a message on our new line. So here's the number below. You can call, ask your question, or leave your comment. So it's easy and straightforward, and it's really my way of connecting with you and making you part of the show. So please leave me a message and you might hear your voice in our next episode. So you can either share your name or remain anonymous, however you're comfortable. But if you believe you're experiencing some kind of emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional or 911. So I'm excited to hear from you and to continue this journey of self-development with all of you. That's the first thing. Never do this in the morning. Never eat refined sugar in the morning. 2, never scroll social media in the morning. Now, there are many people out there, and maybe you're one of them, right? And I've done this before in my life, where you wake up and you get your phone and you start to scroll social media before your feet hit the ground for the day. And so I want to just really point out this small little habit. And I want you to think of it through the lens of mental hygiene, right? Usually we think of hygiene, we think of like brushing our teeth and, taking a shower and like this physical hygiene. Well, let's think about mental hygiene. What are we putting into our mind first thing in the morning when we're just waking up and the day is still full of possibility, right? We're drinking our water, we're eating our protein, we're like ready for a great day. But then if we just mindlessly start to scroll social media, who knows what we're going to see, and who knows what thoughts that's going to produce and what rabbit hole that's going to take us down. Instead of basically, it's almost like you're spinning the roulette, right? Of like, well, maybe I'll take in good things on social media and maybe it'll pump me up for the day. But maybe I'll see somebody's awesome vacation and I'm going to start feeling really crummy about my life. And maybe it'll take me down, a not so productive mental road. And so taking your time in the morning to really be intentional about what you put into your mind, knowing that just like what we put in our body kind of sets the tone for what we're going to eat for the rest of the day, what we put in our mind first thing in the morning is going to set our mental tone for the day, right? And so focusing by, creating your to-do list, creating your intention for the day instead of mindlessly scrolling, putting in things that are positive, right? And so we love to talk about, doing some kind of gratitude practice. So if you can imagine either scrolling social media for 5 minutes before you get out of bed, or spending 5 minutes thinking about things that you're really grateful for. And just think about what that would do for you. These 2 different scenarios. Scrolling social media and taking in whatever's there versus intentionally thinking about things that you're grateful for and feeling this expansion of gratitude and love and these positive thoughts and noticing these great things in your life, thinking of people who you're so grateful for that you're going to, you'll start making plans like, I'm going to reach out to this person. I need to say thank you to that person. And, just having this intention behind positive connection and gratitude versus this rabbit hole of who knows what you're going to see on social media. You might, have just started scrolling and Somebody's just posted their workout picture, and all of a sudden you're feeling horrible about yourself because you don't look like that and you didn't work out. And so there's all these different scenarios that you're not able to predict when you scroll social media. And notice I'm not saying don't ever scroll it. I'm just saying let's focus in the morning to set ourselves up for a really productive and expansive day. And as the day goes on, we have opportunities to have free time and different things. But first thing in the morning, we're not eating refined sugar. We're having hydration and protein. We're not scrolling social media. We are going to take time to set our intention, our to-do list for the day, and have some real gratitude time. And then number 3, and you've heard this from me before, is we are never going to hit snooze. So when we hit snooze first thing in the morning, it's essentially like we are having a little failure or defeat right away, right? We had set the time to wake us up and we had a reason for that, right? You were either going to get up and work out or you were going to wash your hair before you had to go to work. There were things you were going to do. And so your alarm goes off. And when we hit snooze and we basically say no to the day, like, no day, I'm not ready. I don't want to face you. I'm going to put this off, right? I'm going to start the day with some procrastination. And those extra 10 or 15 minutes of sleep are never that restful. It's never really going to, if you didn't feel like you had enough sleep, getting another 8 to 12 minutes of sleep isn't going to fix that problem, but it is going to put you in this feeling of like, shoot, I kind of had a little defeat first thing in the morning, and now I'm playing catch up because you set that time for a specific reason, and then you pushed it back, and so now you have to rush. And so now the tone for your day, like forget having 5 minutes in gratitude and setting your intention for the day, you have to rush to get yourself out the door in time now, right? This is a game of catch up now. And so what else is happening is your reputation with yourself is shifting in a negative direction. So when you told yourself the night before that I'm going to wake up at this time, and then you didn't do it, now you've let yourself down on a certain level. There's this feeling of, I can't really trust myself. My reputation with myself is that I'm not really that reliable. I realize this sounds like such a small thing, right? Like hitting snooze, like they created the snooze button for a reason, right? But it's setting a tone for your relationship with yourself, your ability to feel prepared to take on your day, and to be intentional about how you're spending those first few minutes of your day. So, like I said, this is a short, sweet, very practical message today, and it's 3 things to never do in the morning. And these things are, we are never going to eat refined sugar in the morning. We are never going to scroll social media first thing in the morning. And we will never hit snooze. And these small little habits really do matter in the big picture. Doing these things repetitively, day after day, really helps set us up to have just a more regulated system, to have more intention and gratitude and expansion in our life, and helps us to become that next version of ourselves as we are on this self-development journey together, taking it one day at a time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. And maybe you've even thought of a couple of other things when you review your own morning routine of like, wait a minute, here's another thing I could cut out, or here's something I can add to really help set my day up for success, to really get the tone of the day to be very positive and intentional. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back next week with another message.